Hello! Plan for today. We are going to do a warm-up, then we're going to do a circuit session. That's when year 10 and 11 are going to leave us, and years 7, 8 and 9, I'm going to talk to you a bit about the cool down. My main aim for today's lesson is to not say the word so many times. Failing already. What you're going to need for today is you're going to need a timer of some sort. So if you've got a stopwatch, if you've got a phone that you can put an app on, there's lots of good apps around there. You can download in your app store that are just general fitness timers. So they will allow you to set it up so you're working for 30 seconds resting, and it will beep at you and tell you when to start and stop your activity. If you need any advice on where to find them, just give me an email. We'll get started with our warm-up in a moment. However, what I wanted to say before I go any further is when you're filling in your quiz at the end of the lesson, please make sure that you're reading the questions really carefully, because I'm sure that some of you have got that knowledge, but you've just not read the question correctly. So make sure you read it a couple of times before you just put your answer in, instead of just whacking an answer in without having read it. Right, so warm-up phase. Phase 1, get your pulse up, okay? Pulse raiser, cardiovascular warm-up. Start with some movement, and then you can gradually increase the intensity of that movement. And we can add some jumping jacks, we could add some curls, some knee lifts. Anything that we can do for 2 minutes is going to get our heart rate raised. Once you've done that, phase 2, stretching and mobilisation. So as we talked about last lesson, work all the way down the body. You can start with some dynamic stretches, all right? So they're the ones where you're moving, larger muscle groups, exaggerated big movements, and you can also do some static stretching as well. So mix those up. Combination of both is going to get you really ready for your activity. We're doing a circuit. What I want you to do, get yourselves warmed up, pause here, and then once you're ready, come back and we'll start the circuit. So again, the circuit. What activities are we going to do in today's circuit? Right, we've got 6 stations. You're going to work for 30 seconds and then you're going to have 30 seconds rest. That is the first time through. First exercise, we did it last time, skipping without a rope. So exercise number 1 is skipping, pretending we've got a rope, trying to get as many skips as you can in the 30 seconds. This is all about maximum effort. So don't just go and do this. Okay, you want to be working really hard. Second one is the plank hold. So second exercise, you do your first one, 30 seconds off, have your 30 seconds rest, and then you'll do your plank hold for 30 seconds. Okay, so for a plank hold, we're down on our forearms, nice and flat, pulling our tummy in, holding that for 30 seconds. Next one, jumping jacks. Okay, nice and easy. Make sure you keep your knees nice and soft. We don't want to be jumping with straight legs. Next one, push-ups. Down here, nice flat body. We're spreading our fingers nice and wide apart. I'm going all the way down to almost touch my nose on the floor, and then pushing all the way up. All the way down and all the way up. Notice I kept my body nice and flat the whole time. Next one is a speed bounce. So quickly find yourself something to jump over. So I've just found myself a bib. It could be a sock, it could be anything. Just to give yourself something to jump over. So set that up, 2 feet together, speed bouncing over my bib. Last one, burpees. So I'm going to go from here, jump into the air. I'm going to go down, hands spread, fingers spread wide apart to give myself a good base. Jump my legs back here. Legs in together. Up and touch the ceiling. If I show you from the side, up and touch the ceiling. Hands down. Jump both legs back together. Nice flat position. Jump them in. Push up. Go again. Down, up, in, up. Those ones, I've only done a couple, you should find quite tough. Once you've done it round once and got used to it, what I'd like you to do the second time round is just keep a little note of how many of each exercise you managed to complete. So if you did in the 30 seconds, 30 skipped, just write down 30. Plank hold, just tick it. Yeah, if you manage to hold it for the whole 30 seconds, tick it. Jumping jacks, write down how many you did. Go all the way through all the exercises and check down how many you managed to do of each. Then we're going to do, surprise, surprise, so you're going to repeat the circuit for a third time. In that third time, your aim is to beat all your previous scores. So if you put 30 down for your skips, this time you need to equal or beat 30 skips. So you're setting yourself a target here. You're setting yourself a target to improve. Go for it a fourth time. Can we beat it again? Or can we change some of these activities? Or can we, instead of having a 30-second rest, just have a 20-second rest? Final option, extend the time you're working. So instead of working for 30 seconds, work for 40 seconds. 30 seconds break. All right, there's lots of ways that you guys can adapt the training session to make sure you're getting the best out of it. Don't just do it once and say, oh, tick, let's go and do the worksheet. Do it, push yourself, and you will really, really feel the benefits and start to feel a lot fitter quicker. Once you've done that, year 10, 11s, you can go. Years 7, 8 and 9, I'm going to talk to you a bit about the cool down. Right, so, keep saying so. Cool down. What we want to do, there's 2 phases. All right, so we might start with a bit of a jog. And if we're out, maybe doing a football lesson, at the end of the session, we'd have a bit of a jog. I might say to you, jog to the other side of the pitch, and then bring it down to a walk. All right, so that's phase 1. We call it light exercise. So phase 1 of your cool down is light exercise. And what I'm doing here is I'm bringing my heart rate down and I'm returning to my body to how it would normally be before exercise. Second phase of the cool down is stretching. So this part of the stretching is not going to prevent injury, but what it will do is make me a bit more flexible. So next time I come to do my activity or sport, I might be able to reach a bit further or lean a bit further. It's going to help you to extend your mobility and your flexibility. So stretches as we did at the start of the lesson, so you just repeat that. So phase 1, light exercise. Phase 2, stretching. Right, I'm just going to come and sit here now. Talk to you a bit more about it. So, why are we doing it? Why do we do a cool down? Basically, when we finish our activity, we do not want to feel ill. It's a good chance we're going to feel quite worn out anyway, but we want to do everything we can to avoid feeling sick, to avoid feeling dizzy, to avoid being achy. So, basically, through doing a cool down, gradually bringing our heart rate down, gradually returning to normal, It's going to help us avoid feeling ill. It's going to help to remove this stuff called lactic acid from your muscles. So when we do our activity, lactic acid builds up in our muscles. It's something that isn't particularly helpful. Lactic acid, if it's left where we are at the end of exercise, it's going to make us feel really achy and sore the next day, if not sooner. If I can keep the blood pumping around my body a little bit longer, a little bit slower, that lactic acid is going to be removed. May not all completely be removed, but we're not going to feel as stiff and sore in the morning. Next reason we cool down is to stop feeling dizzy. So if we were doing a 100-metre sprint, for example, and then we suddenly just stopped, just stopped and sat down or lay down on the floor. That was our instant reaction, isn't it? We want to lay down on the floor and recover, but that's problematic, because what happens there is the blood pools in your legs, in your lower limbs and your lower body. So the blood will stay there, and it's not then getting the oxygen I need to my brain. If that oxygen isn't getting up here, then I'm going to feel really dizzy. And it's going to make me feel really, really ill as a result of it. Right, just going to flick my page over here because I've run out. Finally, is the other one I said, it's going to increase your flexibility, and help you to move more freely and potentially gain more movement. Keep coming back to that same example of the netball, intercepting the pass. If I can get these joints more mobile and these muscles looser in my shoulders, that's going to allow me to stretch a bit further, stretch a bit higher. You should cool down at the end of every session. And if you've had a particularly hard session, you should spend a bit longer doing it. At least 5 minutes at the end of every session. Right, so year 7, 8 and 9. Go and do the quiz, use the worksheet, use the video that you've just watched, and hopefully you all know now to read the questions really carefully and submit your responses to me. And from there, I can go and tick off that you have engaged in the lesson, you've completed the tasks, and also it really allows me to get a really good picture of every single one's knowledge and understanding of these topics. Okay, enjoy, have a good day, and make sure if you've got any questions, you email me. Okay, bye.